Before I actually start simming, I totally biffed and forgot that I had one less guy in the roster than I needed. So we had 25 instead of 26 guys. So we're just throwing Anthony Solometto here on the Major League roster as another lefty to have in our middle relief barrage here. Middle relief specialist. He has been with Pittsburgh like this whole time, and he's had a decent couple seasons in like their rotation. 3 WAR here, 1.5 WAR here. But then he was really bad last year. And then they just kind of cut bait on him. And we picked him up on a minor league deal. And he's going to start the year in our bullpen here as like a side armor lefty specialist type guy. I want to see how things go. So we're just going to start things off this season seeing how opening day goes. We're going to cruise through this real quick. You can see here the AI thinks that we have the favored lineup. Or I guess it's confusing me because there's a lot of red here that's the same shade of red. But we have a lot of guys here. We have a good lineup. They have a good lineup. This is the defending champion Boston Red Sox. Let's get into it here. Olimber Santa taking on Shota Imanaga. Game 1 of the 2030 season. Let's embark on it. Immediately they get a guy in scoring position. I don't know why I'm like living and breathing with the pitches here, but as Bob Moore gets to it, but can't come up with it cleanly, sick Bob. Okay. Santa gets him. Ground ball, diving play. Oh my god, he biffs it. Oh. Neto makes the great play, but Shanuel with error number 1 on the season allows a run. So the first base defense costs us there. Is it going to cost us some more? It is not! Because Mike Broyhill is a great center fielder. Hauls it in. We got anything going? Boom. First and second here. Let's see. Nolan Shanuel, lefty on lefty, ground ball right side. Double play ends the inning. Not a great start to the year here for our man Nolan, as we do not manufacture a run. Let's just cruise through here. Nothing going. We got a man on second. George Lombard. Or no, that was Gutierrez. Gutierrez bloops one in. Lombard moves up to third. We got Broyhill up. He's going to bloop one in. That's going to score one and tie the game. It's going to get into the corner, and Broyhill's got himself an easy 2-bagger. Drives in 2 runs. It's a suddenly 2-0 Angels lead here in the second inning. Mike Broyhill delivers. Oh, he's on third, actually. And then Bob Moore delivers with a slicer into the corner. He's got that like 60 gap power or something like that. And he delivers the 9-hitter. It's a 3-1 lead here for the Angels. Beautiful 2-bagger for Bob Moore. And then we have Juan Soto, top of the order. He dribbles one to first. Moore moves up to third for 2 down. And that'll bring up Logan O'Hoppe, looking to rebound from his poor 2029. And he strikes out. Not great. We'll just zoom through this. Boom, they tack on 1. We tack on 1. Scoreless. LeBaron Johnson is in the game. Or I guess he's been in the game. Ooh, they tack on 2. Healy gets a base runner. Let's get through it. He gets through it. Still, so it's tied bottom 8, 4-4. Who just homered? Somebody just homered. Dylan Carlson coming up big in his debut with the Angels. Homers to make it a 5-4 game. Beautiful. We got Broyhill in scoring position with 2 outs. Bob Moore going up the middle. Holy. Dayton Moore's kid showing up. Drives in a little insurance run there. We're up by 2 now. They bring in Aaron Bummer out of the bullpen. Lefty on lefty action here to face Juan Soto. And he just slices one third base side. That'll end the inning. But we do have the lead heading into the top of the 9th, and that should bring on, I guess Healy is going to stay in. Healy does not get out of it, so it's first and second here with 1 out. Brings on Ben Joyce. and he gets a strikeout on Miguel Bleis. Miguel Bleis, it said that O'Hoppe framed it well, too. So 2 down brings up Sean Bouchard. 3-1 counts. Fly ball center field. Broyhill is under it, and he puts it away for out number 3 as the Royals win here on opening day 6-4 over the Boston Red Sox, the defending World Series champions. Big win here to start the season off and get the 162 kicked off on the right foot. Alrighty, we are back. It is June 1st. As you can see, we are 29-28 on the season, 3 games out of first place here in the Pacific Division. Things did not start off great once again, and we have basically finagled our way back here to being a more competitive looking record, I should say. If we take a look at the expanded standings here, we do have a positive run differential, which is good to see. We're very good at home. We are absolutely dreadful on the road. Has been a big story this season. Like up and down in 1-run games. It just hasn't been good. But we are on a 7-3 streak here in our last 10, so things are starting to look up for us here. And that is definitely good to see, because things, like I said, did not start off well. If we take a look at the old info page here for team stats, you can see April once again 12-16. Not quite like the 9-win April we had or whatever it was last year, but still not good whatsoever. Not what you want. And we rebounded a bit here, 17-12 in May, while we've really scrambled to get the pitching to where it is right now. This started off really, really poorly, even as far as like mid-May. Like I'm talking like May 17th. This was all like 14s and 15s. So things have really started to turn things around here, as I've really had to configure our bullpen and our rotation in ways that is, like I said, very Raysian. Very Rays-like. I don't know if Raysian would be a word. I kind of like Raysian, but, you know, Rays-like, Raysian, whatever you prefer. We've had to finagle things around. The offense here, bit of a mixed bag, I should say. Overall, we got like some middle of the area, like 9th in home runs, 9th in strikeouts, but we're still not on bags. We're 4th in runs scored. So when it comes down to actually scoring runs, we're doing pretty well. We're getting runs across the plate. That's to be expected. And even with some guys struggling too, which we will get into a bit here soon. But then the pitching, like I said, it started off real poor. And the defense even started off pretty bad, but it's been, as you can see, the defense has gotten much better. And right now, the pitching overall has gotten better. Like I said, this was a lot of 14s and 15s, still 15th in WAR, still 13th in home runs allowed, 11th in walks, and 16th in strikeouts, which is not good. But also, there's 16 now because we have an expansion team. Yeah, not a lot of good stuff going on here to start. But like I said, it has been turning things around. So let's take a look at this new look staff here. You can see we are really raising it up here. Alimber Sansa. Let's sort this by innings pitched here. You can see a lot of dudes pitching innings. We've got Alimber Santa here, Santa, whatever you want to call him. He has had a solid season in the rotation. 12 starts, 1 WAR, 148 ERA plus, 89 FIP minus. You'll take that, the 25 strikeout rate. We knew he was going to walk a ton of guys. He's doing that, but he's still been very solid. Zach Gallen doing his thing. He's still very solid. Him and Santa have not been the issue. It has been the rest of the guys. As you can see, Spencer Strider's up in the rotation now. He's had 5 starts, and he's been serviceable. He's had a good ERA. He's had a not great, like a slightly below average FIP. We'll take it. He's been fine. He's been starting to figure things out as he started. As you can see here, he's only fragile. He's not wrecked, so we'd love to see that. Obviously, this has gone down a bit. This is only 50 now. But as you can see, lots of minuses here on the scouting. But that's what you expect when a guy at 31, almost 32, misses 2 entire seasons of baseball. Basically, yeah, 2 entire seasons of baseball, 28 and 29, and he's just now getting back in the groove here. We'll take this for a guy who's missed that much time. Brandon Woodruff, you can see, is a follower being limited to 18 batters faced right now. That is because his season started off very poorly. As you can see here, 7 starts as a traditional starter went very bad. He was giving up a ton of home runs. We had to do something. So we made him a follower, and as you can see here, as a follower, he has been much better. Not giving up home runs, striking out more guys, walking less guys. Whatever we got to do to get a value out of this staff, we are doing it. So Brandon Woodruff, the follower here, he's getting the job done. Chris Sands is up right now. He's made 1 start. It was this game against Baltimore. We lost 10-0. Eric Rose came in as the opener, pitched 1 2/3 of shutout ball. And then Chris Sands comes in and just gets lit the fuck up in his major league debut. Obviously, facing the Baltimore Orioles is probably not the most ideal major league debut, and he's not exactly the same guy he was when we were looking at him to be like a stud for us, but he's still decent enough. He's been really good in Double-A. He's kind of borderline starter, reliever type guy now because of the stamina, but we are playing him as a follower. He's not just a straight-up starter for us. I thought he was our best option to be a guy because this might change. This spot in the rotation might change. So it might be Sands. It might be somebody else next time we check in. It really just depends. We're going to finagle some things because Sawyer Gibson Long was not it. This guy was just straight up bad. You can see here the whole line just really bad, giving up way too many home runs. ERA, FIP, the whole shebang was just not good. We take a look at his splits here. Was really bad as a traditional starter. He got 3 appearances as a follower, and it was just as bad in those. So it was not like Woodruff, where it was like immediately obvious that he should be a follower. He was just straight up bad. He was even worse when it comes to the K- walks when it comes to his reliever. He was even worse overall. He was just worse overall. Overall, he was worse as a follower than he was as a starter. And that's pretty hard to do because he was pretty darn bad. So he is just on waivers right now. If somebody claims him, somebody claims him. If nobody claims him, then we will just probably try to trade him for something or just eat the money. Because it's only 7.3. Obviously wouldn't be ideal, but it's what it is at this point because he's hurting us playing. He's not going to go down for an assignment, obviously. At least I don't think. We'll try, but I don't think he's going to accept an assignment. And we will, he's not going to be on the team, is what I'm saying. He's pitched his last day for the Angels. He was a part of last year's team, towards the stretch, I should say, down the stretch, but has not been good here. So he's not going to be on the team anymore. We also, you might have have Lucas Erceg here on waivers because he was like fine. He had a really good ERA. He was striking out a ton of guys, walking about the amount of guys you would expect, actually less than he had been previously. But really what's been killing him is the home runs. I mean, he wasn't awful. He wasn't getting a ton of meltdowns or anything, but we can't have you giving up 2.5 home runs or 2.2 home runs per 9. It's just unacceptable. So he's on waivers. We're probably going to send him down once he clears, if he clears. And maybe he comes back up at some point, but we just had to get him off here, even though he wasn't like the worst ERA wise. You just can't be doing this. You can't be doing this and expect to stay on the roster. It just can't happen. So he is down, or he's going to go down. And the bullpen right now is Lopez and Ben Joyce as the stoppers. We moved Healy to the setup, like I said, with the stopper secondary. He's been much better in that role. Joyce got off to a really, really bad start, but he's been much better as of late. Yeah, you can see here 3 straight scoreless appearances. He gave up a run in these ones. He kind of got rocked a bit. And you can see April, he was actually good. May, he's been bad. He had a couple bad appearances in May, but like I showed, he's starting to turn a corner here. You can see the ERA is slowly going down. So we trust Ben Joyce. He's going to remain in that stopper role along with Lopez, who's been good. And then the rest of the guys here, what we have rocking with right now has been quite solid. Walbert Urena, you can see here, has a 1 ERA. Walbert Urena, he's on fire. 1 ERA. He's got a 3.94 ERA plus, 66 FIP minus. Patrick Forbes, you look at this 5 ERA and you're like, this guy stinks. But you have to keep in mind, this guy was in the rotation to start the year. We take a look at his splits here. Awful, dreadful. 6 starts in the rotation. We had to get him out of there. He was giving up too many walks, too many home runs. We move him into a middle relief / stopper role, and he's suddenly bang, boom, I'm good. 209 ERA plus, exactly league average FIP. He's striking out guys. Not the biggest clip, but he's not walking guys. He's dropped his walk rate a ton. He's not giving up as many home runs. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to limit the home runs because that was a huge issue for us. And he is much better in the bullpen. So Anthony Solometto has been a really good bullpen piece for us as well. He's also a opener for us. Just overall very, very solid. Sub 1 home run per 9, 26.5, basically 27 K percentage if you round up, 8 walk percentage. It's solid. We'll take that. He's doing his thing as a bullpen opener piece. Eric Rose has come up. He started the year on the IL, or I think he either started it or he pitched a couple of games and then got hurt. I think he started the year on the IL, came back. He's been lights out in the bullpen and as a stopper role here. Not a stopper, but in the middle relief / opener role, because he's the other opener we have aside with Solimento. So he's been really good. Palpum got off to a really tough start. You can see here, but we'll sort this by major leagues. He's only had 3 innings, 2 appearances since coming back up, but the ERA kind of getting gypped there, a bit unlucky with the BABIP, but the FIP is good. So we called him back up because if we take a look at his AAA numbers, he only pitched 4 2/3 innings down there, but he had a 30 K minus walk rate. So I was like, okay, we're going to call him back up, see what he can do. That was who we called up when we got rid of Urseg, because I just felt like he was the best option we had down in AAA. We got a couple other guys we might bring up for the first time. We've got some dudes we can mess around with. That's why we like having the options and dudes with less team control on minimum deals and a bunch of options, because we like being able to move things around like this if we need to. And this year we definitely have needed to. I think that is all with the pitching. Yes. So now let's finally move on to what the bats are doing. If we sort by WRC plus here, you can see Bob Moore has been the best WRC plus. Zach Neto has been great for us this season. Logan O'Hoppe, bit of a bounce back year. Anthony Gutierrez has been really solid. Juan Soto got off to a slow start, but he's starting to come back around, and he's doing his thing. Gavin Turley's been up and down, and he's been fine. Nolan Shanuel got off to a slow start. He's starting to turn things around, though, if we take a look at his splits. April, you can see 85, not great. He's starting to climb the ladder, though. He's got it up to triple digits here. We love to see that. Dylan Carlson's been fine-ish. DeJesus been fine-ish. Lombard got off to a slow start. We take a look at his splits. Really bad start. He's starting to get a little bit better, but the home runs are really disconcerting. Seeing that he's not hitting for power at all, we got to figure that out, because if you're not hitting for power, you're useless, buddy. And then we also have Juan Padilla is up. We should sort this by this, because it's the same thing against righties and lefties. So you can see here, Padilla's playing left field. We originally called him up because Kyron Paris here has a 29 WRC plus, a negative WAR. He was positive ZR at shortstop, but he has a negative WAR with a 29 WRC plus. Just dreadful, unplayable. So we had to bench him since Bob Moore was hitting. And Bob Moore is not a great defensive shortstop, but he's basically our only option. What basically happened was we have Padilla playing left. We originally called up Padilla to play short because he was down in AAA doing the damn thing. 2 WAR, 136 WRC plus, doing the damn thing. You take a look at his fielding stats here. He had a 5.5 ZR, basically 6 if you round up ZR, at shortstop in AAA. So I'm like, this guy can play shortstop. So let's call him up, get him in that role. We had him playing short. We had Bob Moore backing up, and we had Paris as just kind of a guy on the roster because he won't accept an assignment. And we don't want to waive and DFA him. So Padilla was going to play shortstop for us. And then we had Josh Johnson go down with an injury, 4 to 5 weeks, strained abdominal muscle. He was hitting very well for us. You can see here 130 WRC plus, six doubles, six home runs. He was performing very well like we thought he was going to. Unfortunately, we're going to be missing him for a bit, so that's why Padilla's playing left field. And then also Mike Broyhill, who got off to a scorching start as well. You can see 155, eight doubles, eight home runs, and he was playing a solid center field, doing what we thought he was going to do. Unfortunately, he's out for 2 more weeks. So right now, we have a bit of a mess here where we've got Gutierrez playing center field because I just felt like he was the best option we had. I didn't want to start Turley, and Gutierrez is hitting for us, so I figured we'll play him in center. I'll probably put, now that I'm seeing this, I'll probably put Turley as the defensive sub in center. Come on, Jeremy, you can do it. Boom. So Gavin Turley's because he's got the 70 range. He came up and played a little bit. It wasn't great in 22 games, but he can play center field. So he's going to be the defensive sub in center field with Gutierrez starting, and then Padilla's in left and Bob Moore's at short. So the defense is a bit of a mess right now. But you can see if we sort by ZR here, we've got some positive guys like Larson, Lombard's playing good defense. Overall, if we take a look here, our ZR is good overall. So right now it's a bit of a mess, but we will survive. We will survive. We will continue to survive and advance. And so that's what the lineups is looking like. And we are just gonna hop into the draft, I believe. Oh, also I wanted to mention our guy Amari Collar here, our first round supplemental pick in 2029, 75th prospect in baseball. He is up in Double-A now. He was pitching very well in High A to start the season. I was like, all right, I've seen enough. We've got to get this guy to the big leagues as soon as he is ready. Obviously, I'm not going to rush him with ratings like this. But once I start seeing more green on here, if this pops up, expect to play in majors, I might make the move because we need pitching right now, and this guy looks like he could be an absolute stud for us. Obviously, I'm not going to rush him. I don't want to destroy this guy's confidence. But he is in Double-A right now. He's pitching well through 2 starts. We're going to see how things go. Just a little update on Collar. And then a couple other updates. Sadid Matthews here has been in Triple-A. He's been, fine. He hasn't been too impressive. He's been fine. He's not a guy we're trying to rush to the big leagues, but he is definitely an option for us if we need somebody at some point. The Venezuelan-Italian guy, Gianandrea Morfin here, who we picked up in that Miami trade. He has been absolutely tearing the cover off the ball here in Double-A, to the point where I'm probably, it is the draft. I think we might move him to Triple-A. We're going to move him to Triple-A and see how he does. So Morphin here, Gianandrea, is going to go to AAA, see how he does up there, because he has just been tearing the cover off the ball in AAA, and we want to see what he can, or in AA rather, we want to see what he can do in AAA. I also mentioned that we had a defense-first shortstop that when I was talking about, when I was thinking about trading Paris in the offseason and signing Dansby Swanson to a one-year deal, that we had a guy ready to kind of take his place after that. This is the guy I was talking about. Alvaro Dowd here, you can see he's not playing well offensively, but he is projected for 17 home runs. Not that really is going to carry over, but he, like this one in high A ball was more so what I would expect from him. Something like this. But he is a very good shortstop. If we take a look at his career fielding stats here, yeah, he had a 15 ZR at shortstop last year in high A. He was our 4th round pick in 2028 at a UT. 70 range, lots of 70 on here, lots of deep blue. We love to see it. He's even got the really good defense in the outfield as well. Not that we would play him there because his value is defensively at shortstop. But he is a guy that he was the guy I was talking about when it came to defensive guys who could replace Paris someday if he continues to play like he is right now. And then we've also got this guy in Double-A right now. Remember him? First year's draft class in 2024, round 2. He was after William Schmidt, who is now on Montreal, I should probably check in on a little bit. But leader intelligence guy, good speed, really good defense. Not the best bat, but serviceable enough. And you can see here he's tearing up Double-A at age 24, almost 25. He might have to come up to AAA here soon as well. We will think about that, but you can see here he stole 50 bags last year, and he's always just a solid center fielder. He's got a 3.4 this year. He's got a 10 the year before, a 15 the year before that. He's starting to come into his own here, so he's an option for like a defense first center fielder at some point as well. Obviously, a bit older as a prospect, but it took him a while to develop. Little update on William Schmidt. He's looking like a guy that I'm regretting not protecting. I just always thought that he would be not developing, and here he is, just like Terrence Keel at almost 25, just suddenly starting to find something. He's in AAA, pitching really well for Laval. He might be in the Montreal rotation here. Now, obviously, he's not like an ace, like we would expect him, he would want him to be when we took him, but he's looking like he could be up in the major leagues here. So good for him with Montreal here and with Laval down in AAA. But yeah, we'll continue to keep tabs on him. I'm not too concerned that like we're gonna get burned by giving up this guy and not protecting him. Obviously, it could help, but this home run suppression makes me think that he's probably never going to be too great. As well as if this control doesn't develop, but who knows? Maybe it will be. We will have to see how it goes. But here we are in the first year player draft in 2030 here on June 1st. Let's just see who Colorado takes number 1 overall. Josh Barber Tackett. Yeah, okay. This guy is quite good. Absolutely. This is the type of stuff that makes you want to tank later on in these years, because the fake classes can really generate some studs. Like this guy is going to be in the big leagues like by the end of the season type stuff. Austin P. State, not even Austin P. They said, I don't think that's Austin P. like the usual one. Because I'm pretty sure Austin P. like the governors are just Austin P., who I know have a decent baseball program, but I don't believe this. I believe this is a different school. Maybe it's the same school, and I'm not realizing that they're Austin P. State, but already spent too much time looking at this guy. But insane, lots of blue, lots of good stuff. This guy could be incredible. Well, let's move things on to our pick here. Number 18 overall. Still some 80 grade guys, some high school guys. Now, obviously, we did take a high school guy last year, and I think it was Aquino was his name. Let's take a look at that real quick. We have the 22nd rank system. Never too great. But yeah, Aquino was the guy we took 9th overall, high school bat. He had 80 grade power when we took him. It's down to 75 grade power. He's still a top 100 prospect, though. But he is not doing well in rookie ball, as you can see. And then our other pick was, of course, Collar, who is doing well. So at least we got him to be looking quite good already. So yeah. I don't think I'm going to take another high school guy. Definitely not a high school arm. This guy has got looking like he could have a good bat. This guy's got looking like what am I even talking about? But the bat, the glove here is definitely going to limit him to being like more of a first baseman type, more of a DH type, because he's not going to be able to play even a corner very well. Probably leaning college guys here. So, like, here's another Josh Johnson, two-way guy, 65 range. Interesting. But who's this fella? Sid Pattison. Okay, little bit of finesse lefty here. They think he's a 65 potential. High work ethic, lots of blue here. Love to see that. He's a lefty who can hold run. A bit of a throwback guy here. Throws real light 90s, real low 90s, 89, 91. Ground baller, can possibly have some really good control and really good home run suppression. Fastball sinker cutter guy, real old school type dude here. I would not be opposed to taking him 18th overall. Yeah. Let's look at some other dudes. Like, who's Nate Clark? I mean, he's looking pretty good too, but I think I prefer the Pattison guy. Let's sort by, let's go by draft pitchers here. Yeah, so both these guys are ground ballers. This guy's got low. We don't like that. That guy's a reliever. This guy's a closer. And like Josh Johnson could be an interesting bat, but I think we want to go pitcher here. This guy's an interesting college bat, really interesting college bat. 60 range, possible 75 power and gap power. Obviously going to strike out, probably more of like a 3 true outcomes type guy, but he's got the gap power there too. The BABIP could get up to 50. I like this guy. And he's Wisconsin. We've got all the Wisconsin guys in our system. Oh man. We do. I mean, the thing we have a decent log jam. Like this guy is a guy who you take, and you kind of think about like need when you take a college guy like this, so you can get to the big leagues probably pretty decently soon. But at the same time, like this dude would be better than everything we've got right now. Like if we, like Padilla's obviously somebody who could play the corners, probably more ideally an infielder for us. Gutierrez is a corner guy, but maybe not a long-term option. Carlson's not long-term. So maybe we don't have a logjam. Maybe we don't. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass here. But yeah, really it's coming down to either Pattison or Lesnar. And I mean, Pattison does have the 65 potential. He's the old school guy, though. He's also 19. He's quite developed for 19 as a JUCO. I mean, it's just the fastball only going to be up to a 50, the stuff, and I feel like the movement's not going to be as good. Like, if he had, like, a Logan Webb type thing where he had 65 control and he had, like, 60s with the movement, I would be more enticed to take this guy, but I think we're going to go with the bat just because I can't quit these gap power, decent BABIP, decent eye, lefty hitter. I can't quit these guys, man. I just can't. He's got the good speed. He's got 60 range. He could play a real good corner for you. Coming out of a university I've never even heard of in my life. That's cut off, so I think that's New Hampshire. Franklin Pierce University. Never heard of that in my life, but what's his scouting looking like? Okay, so his potential's even dropped recently on the power. But overall, there's more blue here than there is red. What about Pattison? Okay, nothing really changes too much for him at all. Pattison has front of the rotation potential. I just don't think he does with that type of velo. He's real, like things have to be perfect. Not a lot of leeway there for a guy like that. Whereas Lesnar could be a second division starter at center. Yeah, but he could be like a first division starter in left or right. Flashes of light tower power. I mean, I think we just have to. We have to take Lesnar here. We're going to do it. We're taking Spawn Lesnar. We're going to give him his 2 million bonus. Boom. We move things on. Round 2. And this other ground baller's still here. So we didn't get Pattison, but I think we're going to go with this guy here. Because, we could look at the high schoolers, but I think we want to go more... I think we want to go college here. Because, even though this guy's an 80, movement's not the greatest. Impossible signee as well. This shortstop is interesting. He's also a little bit. He's fragile. Never mind. Obviously, this 70 range is really enticing with this potential bat, but he's already fragile at age 18. Milltown, New Jersey, going to a JUCO in California. Yeah. Or no. He's committed to a JUCO, and he's born in New Jersey, but he's from a high school in California. I love the fake classes. I love the fake draft classes. But, yeah, I think we're going to go college players here. We're just going to take Nate Clark. We're not going to make it too complicated here. He's the ground ball. He's got the adaptability and the work ethic. He's cheap. Decent multi-pitch mix here. Looks like he could have some good control, some good movement. Never going to be like a front-end guy for you, but he could be like a number 3, a real solid number 3 for you. Yeah. I'm thinking Nate Clark here is the move. I mean, there is this guy. The personality's not as good, but I think I like this guy's home run suppression, control. He's got a similar pitch mix. I mean, they're both... I guess Clark's better because he has more stamina. Let's compare them. Mike Bray and Nate Clark. 50-50, 55-55, 60-60. And then yeah, I guess Clark's better just because he has more stamina, which is useful as a starter. But like, can I look at his here we go, his pitches. I want to see his pitch potential though. So the thing about Mike Bray is he doesn't have a fastball. Well, he doesn't throw a fastball at all. He throws sinker, cutter, curve, slider, change. I should be able to see his pitch potential on this compare page. That's annoying to me. So like he's got 4 pitches that are projected to be that could be 55 and above. Whereas Clark has 2 pitches that could be 55 and above and then 3 that could be 50. Okay. Not sure how much the pitches really matter when it comes down to it like that, but what's his scouting looking at? Okay, so he's dropped recently. He's had a lot of minuses here as of recently. He used to be a 65. As recently as May 2029, he was a 65. Whereas Clark also used to be a 65, but he's improved recently as Bray has dropped recently. I mean, he does have the greed. He has the low leader and loyalty. He has the better 60 home run suppression, 60. I think we're taking Bray. I think we're gonna take Bray. Yeah, 60, 60. Bray's a bit more developed right now as well, at least with the control. Yeah, I think we're gonna take Mike Bray, and we're just gonna go ahead and meet his demand. So boom, Mike Bray is our second round pick. We move things on around 3 after spending an hour on that. Still got some of these 80 potential high school guys, but I'm really not a fan of the high school dudes. I'm just not. Really not a fan. Let's look at these college guys again. Yeah, so our scout thinks here in round 3 we should take Dan Partain, high school corner outfielder. Probably not, dude. Probably not. Grand Kent, disgusting. He's also not very good. Disgusting. Bob DeYoung is, I'm assuming, how you pronounce that. Southern University and A&M College. What a name. Switch hitter, just purely like a DH type. Probably not even good enough of a bat to be a DH type. Whereas this guy's more up my alley, but he's also more of not a good defender. He'd be like a bad second baseman, and he doesn't have enough pop to be a first baseman. It's just he's gonna make a lot of like line drive contact. He's gonna be hitting a lot of singles, not striking out. Novak. Okay. I like this guy. Really good 70 speed, 65 range. The power and gap power could be in the blues. He's got the good contact to go with it. Okay. He's dropped a bit. But I'm not too concerned with that. Yeah, I think we like Novak the best now. He's also durable, which is, we really love to see that. And then like big bopper dudes here. Gonna strike out a ton. Deshaun Demanglis, something like that. I mean, that's a decent profile. I don't know if I want to take him here. I think I prefer Novak over him right now, but if he was there like next round, I would look into him. Okay, he's gonna strike out a ton. Any like super. Okay, 75. This guy's interesting. 70 range, high leader, work ethic, intelligence. Not going to be a great glove. Apparently, he got taken by the Guardians last year, and Spore couldn't get it done. But yeah, interesting glove. Oh, okay. So this is one of those weird pitchers who has 75 outfield range, but is never going to be able to use it because he's never going to hit at all. Yeah, weird player. Weird player for sure. And there's no like this guy's a 65 range, but that's he's got good like good potential here. Durable guy again, but yeah, Novak's better. Novak's better than him right now. I think Novak is the move with the 65 range. I think we're going Novak here. Boom. We'll meet his demands. We'll move things on around 4. Is okay, so it looks like that Yale guy we were looking at is not here anymore. There's this guy. University of Central Missouri. Bit of a weird righty-lefty guy. 75. Interesting outfield ratings here with the 60 range and then the 75 error. I don't know. I feel like you don't very often see like that big of a discrepancy between the range and the error. Not that one's bad and one's good, but like they're both good. But this one's just like elite type stuff. That super glove guy who was here went the Long Beach State guy, so that's disappointing. But there's a couple other glove guys here. I think I prefer this guy more. That's a tough personality. I mean, they're both normal. This guy as opposed to this guy. This guy is more of like a third baseman in my mind because he can't turn the double play. Definitely more of a third baseman, like an elite, like Cabrian Hayes type third baseman. But Rojas here is like a shortstop with the 70 range. Yeah, I think I'm leaning Rojas. I mean, that Ethan Carlson guy is still here. What are the high school pitcher or the college pitchers looking like? There's still this 50 guy from Grand Canyon, which is disgusting, but he's got the leader, got the adaptability, got the work ethic. He's got possible really good home run suppression and then a bunch of just like mediocre around it. So he's more of like a 5 starter. If he's the worst arm, it likely means you have a very good rotation, but not someone you want pitching a big game. Yeah. That's what I conclude as well. And it is round 4, so it is a long shot on a lot of these guys. Not, I shouldn't say a long shot, but like you're not, we're not drafting for like elite stuff here. This guy's a lot of pitches, my God. I don't mind Brownstein. It's just, do I like him more than Carlson is what it comes down to. Do I want to get another outfielder in the system who is durable? That is good. I think wasn't what's his name durable too? He is. I mean, I don't know. From E-Line. Love that he's from Irvine and he didn't go to UC Irvine. He didn't become an anteater. What's the deal, bro? Likely on the bubble for a bit, yeah, because he has the 45. His potential contact went down recently, but the other stuff went up. I mean, he looks like it has a similar profile to like Broyhill, who is solid. I'm tempted to take Brownstein and then hope that Carlson is still there. I think we're going to take Brownstein. We're going to take Brownstein. We're going to meet his demand. We're going to move things on. And Carlson is still there, baby. Knew it was going to happen. Knew it was going to happen. Boom. Meet his demand. Move things on. Round 6. Another durable guy. Interesting pop. Mike. He's not Mike West. He's Mike Woost. Woost? Mike Woost. Something like that. This guy's not a good enough glove anywhere. Okay. I like this guy. Switch hitting catcher. Average catcher at best. More of a DH. But, you know, if you have a catcher like this, if he has 70 power, you know, you work him in the lab to try to improve that defense. I like this guy. I do indeed. I think we're taking Steve Hagge here. 60 potential, 70 power potential catcher. High work ethic. He's a baseball rat. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's look at this guy first. No, we're taking Hagge. Boom. That's our 6th round pick. We move things on. And our scout thinks we should take Sean Lentine. Interesting, because I saw he wanted me to take this guy like round 2, and he's still here. And he is interesting. He does have could potentially have a lot of green, a lot of teal here, with a little 3, not more than a 3 true outcomes if this stuff gets to 50, and then he gets also this power and eye. Never going to be a great corner outfielder, but he could, like, you know, he could manage out there. I think I like this guy more than Partain. Leonardo Soli. Leonardo Sol? What kind of nickname is that? He's committed to the fight in camels. But this is like this is like a Shanuel type profile with the high avoid K as well as the high power and an I. Yeah. He could be like a first base corner out. Yeah, I'd sign me up, dude. I like this guy. Bobby McGowan. Yeah, we're taking him. Bobby McGowan, boom. Round 7. Move things on round 8. Yeah. Not too much that's like standing out to me at this point, in this juncture. Like, this guy's not good enough to be a shortstop because of his turn DP. This guy's got no arm and no turn DP. So he's like a first baseman. Like, what kind of dude are you, dude? You got a 70 range, 80 error, but you can't throw the ball and you can't turn a double play? Like, come on. How do you have a 30 arm? Seton Hall. Oh, that is, okay, South Orange. I was going to say, I don't know why I saw that. And I was like, Seton Hall, that's not this is a Seton Hall that's not New Jersey? No, I'm just stupid. The New Jersey was cut off and it just like broke my brain. Who's this guy? Okay. Okay. I mean, the power hasn't developed at all, but he does have an interesting gap power combo with the 65 range and the 80 grade arm. This dude is like a real interesting right fielder. Real interesting. Yeah. I think I like him. We're taking David Vigil. Yeah. 100%. 100%. David Vigil. Welcome to the organization. We move things on round 9. Partain is still there. I know we're taking a ton of high school, or we're taking a ton of outfielder types. But there's just not any like infielder dudes that stand out to me. So, looking at high school arms, there's 2 high school arms that I might take here round 9. There's the Wizarek, however you say this guy's name, the lefty committed to Coastal, throws a bit harder. The fact that the control hasn't developed at all is what scares me. I mean, if this was even 25, I would be more inclined to take him. But obviously, if this all develops, he'd be really good. But, you know, how often do these dudes develop? Especially since he's not even 18 yet. He's really young. This other guy, he's almost 19, a bit older. He's extreme fly ball, which scares me. But at the same time, it's, you know, Anaheim's not it's not like a huge hitter-friendly park. So I feel like we could survive with the extreme fly ball guy, especially with a good defense behind him. He's got the 70 grade changeup, which is enticing. The 70 stamina, which could work deep into ball games. The 65 stuff. But he's similar to the other guy, whereas his home run allowed is like I just said, if the other guy had 25, I would probably prefer that. But really, if he had 30, I would prefer it because this guy has 25 home runs allowed, and it just scares me that like he's gonna get to the system, he'll have one scouting report, and then like boom, this is 45, and this is like 25 still, and this just keeps creeping down, and this never moves up, and it's not good. Like you can't be an extreme fly ball guy if your home run suppression is not at least 50. But overall, I do think I like this guy better than this guy. I mean, no, I think we're gonna take this dude. Just because if I want one thing to not develop, it's the control. If this control gets to like 40, we can work with that. But if it's an extreme fly ball guy who can't get people to not get home runs, that's unplayable. So I think we're gonna go boom, move on, and then that guy's gone. I would consider taking him if he was still there, but he was not. And I think we're gonna do the rest of this class off screen, and then we will pick things back up, and I'll show you who I took with these last 10 picks. Alrighty, we have concluded the first year player draft here in 2030. We left off in round 10 by taking Dan Partain. And then from there on, we took Mr. Alan Bell, a super personality guy, loyalty, adaptability, work ethic, intelligence, corner outfielder type, has a decent bat, out of a high school in Pennsylvania, who's committed to the University of the Sciences, but now he's going to play professional baseball instead. And then we take Greg Gillespie, a college catcher out of FIU in the 12th round, 60 framing, high leader. You need those guys in the org. You know, is this guy ever going to be a major league catcher? Highly doubt it, but he's in the org to catch our minor league catchers because you need guys like that. And then we take this guy, hoping the power develops. Basically all that was there. Long Beach State guy from Shrewsbury, Mass. Zero defense capability whatsoever. He's just like a possible home run masher type. You know, obviously don't expect much from this guy, but he is interesting enough. Then we took John Carlson, another catcher who I thought had an interesting bat profile, has a bunch of good personality, high school guy. Then we took Steve Mayfield, a high school reliever in round 15. Looks like he could be pretty good. 65 home run suppression, 60 stuff, decent control with a good curveball cutter combo. Then we took Juan Gamboa, a lefty out of Santa Clara with a really good personality here. You know, that's really what it is. Could be an interesting reliever type guy. Maybe he develops because of the work ethic intelligence. Maybe he gets some TCR boosts. Then we took John Pelnar here in round 17, another high school reliever. Danny Childers, good high work ethic intelligence guy, corner outfield type, decent power eye combo here, out of Schenectady, New York. Or Schenectady. I think it's Schenectady. I should know this. Ian would hate me right now. But we move things on to Brad Foss with the handlebar mustache here, 19th round. He is an interesting home run suppression, 3 good pitch type reliever guy. You know, who knows? Maybe he could develop. And then we also have this high school guy with good home run suppression we took in round 20. And that was our draft here in 2030.